This is Boukie's place. We don't talk about the wins. We don't talk about the awards. We don't talk about the accolades. We talk about the grind. We talk about the grit. We talk about those things that make you really grounded. And we bring your favorite. We bring people you love here, people that have been through the storm, and people that make you see that, listen, I have no excuse. If they did it, I can do it. The 5 questions that plague us. Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I doing the things I'm doing? We talk destiny. We talk purpose. Greatness costs what it costs, and it doesn't go on sale. And today, I have the legendary DJ Jimmy Jatt.
Okay,
DJ Jimmy Jatt.
it's been a minute, man.
I know it's been a very long minute. Very long minute. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm good.
Good, good, good.
I
How's
don't have
things?
to. I don't have to ask you that question, right?
I don't believe it's smoke time.
It's all written on you.
Man, welcome to Boukie's place, man. Welcome to
Thank you.
Boukie's place.
Well,
All right. So, this is how it goes. I know I already told you about it. We don't talk about the wins or the awards. We heard all that. We've seen all that. All we have to do is Google, you know? But we want to equip people with the necessary ingredients, like practical tools to get up. Because people take their own dream and they measure it against Jimmy Jatt's like 20, 35 years of, grinding. And they say, I'll never be like Jimmy Jatt. They buy a small mixer and they're like, I can never be that good. Not knowing that this, has taken years of toiling and grinding. So we start from the beginning. You tell us your story, where you were born, and then we take it from there.
okay, so I was born in Lagos. I was born in Lagos Island. Precisely, I was born in Obalende. And if you know what
Wow.
Obalende is, that's to tell you that I'm ghetto like that. I moved from Obalende. I lived in Morocco as well. Morocco is the extreme ghetto in Nigeria. There's nowhere more ghetto than Morocco. It was so bad it was demolished. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to tell you where I came from. So most times people see me, they probably think I'm an Ajipota, but man, I'm as ghetto can be, man. So but the good thing is that we don't look like where we're coming from. So yeah.
Amen to that.
Like I said, my growing up were mostly, Obalende, Morocco, a little bit of a Dimota, Saleko type area, So if you know all these places, that should tell you, ideally, from expectation, you would think a guy like me would be a crackhead, a drug dealer, a very negative person, because the environment, that's what people think your environment dictates. But of those kind of environments, you can also develop yourself in a very positive direction, especially if you have the right upbringing, and feel like, man, I'm going to get myself out of it. I will get myself and my family out of here, So for me, it was challenging, but it also strengthens you and also makes you more determined, to be a better person, And luckily for me, maybe I might have been living in such places, but I actually went to school in Ikoyi. And going to school in Ikoyi makes you see, the two sides. So I'm going to school with the richest of kids, but I live in an extreme ghetto, So, from a very young age, I've been able to balance life in terms of, how the people on this side lives and how the people on this side lives. And to be honest with you, I've come to realize that there's really no difference between people, except that some people are more comfortable than the others. But in terms of people themselves, like whether you find good people here, you will find more good people on the low side, and then you find good people on the high side as well. But people are just great anyway, and then bad people you will find on both sides of the world as well.
Yeah.
So that has helped shaping me and my relationship with people. So I'm that guy right now that have friends in every level of life. So I have some friends that are not exactly off the ground. I also have friends in high places. I have friends as far as also rock dealer, So you understand what I'm saying? So I can relate with the poor. I can relate with the the mid bracket, and I can relate with the IMIT. You know, so for me, I mean, looking back, I'm glad, you know, I had that kind of upbringing. It was challenging, no doubt, but yeah.
Tell us the challenges. Bishop
Um,
will see you, man. Bishop is shouting out. What's up,
hey, Bishop,
Bishop?
that's my brother right there, man. Bishop, when road clear, we go see, you know.
Yes, yes.
So pretty much, I mean, growing up for me wasn't tough. I might have grown up in an environment that were tough environment, but my parents were, you know, very dedicated to upbringing, you know, and I think within their means they provided the best they could provide. So for me to even tell you that, even though I stay in the ghetto, I went to school with the richest of rich. I mean, that should tell you the effort of my parents, you know. So, you know, but it still doesn't take away the fact that the struggle will be there, and especially when you get to a point where you're not fully dependent on your parents anymore. So those are when the challenges really started for me. Like when I was done with high school, even before I was done with high school, you know, I started trying to do things for myself, you know. So those challenges started from there, especially because I got into DJing, especially because at the time when I should still be a dependent. You know, I was barely 16 about the time I got into DJing.
Wow.
So, you know, the challenges at the beginning of that will be that, man, you have money. I mean, you finally get some money that is enough for you to have lunch, but you also need money to buy new records because the money that you got that you think can buy you lunch was given to you by somebody that needs you to play a particular song. And if you don't get that song, you know, you can't deliver on what the person wanted.
Integrity,
You
yeah.
know, so you get to that point where you have the exact amount that is enough to buy the song, because then we used to buy every song. You know, it was vinyl then.
Wow.
And there
Wow.
was no downloading, there was no replicating, there was no. You have to buy the music. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so when you look at it and say, man, this money is just enough to buy this record, but I haven't eaten all day. And then in buying those records as well, you even have to transport yourself to where you're going to buy the record. And if you take transport money out of it, you can't even buy the record anymore. So then I used to jump buses. So when you listen to a song like Styling and say, we enter bus claim staff because you don't get money. True story.
Reality, man.
Reality. Reality. Let me tell you how that used to work. I'm going from Obalende and I'm going to Ojuelegba or as far as Nosam in Ajegunle. I take a bus from Obalende, usually Molwe. I don't know if you remember.
Wow.
So I
Yes.
take Molwe. I'm hanging by the door at the back. Those conductors were not so smart in those days. They start collecting money from the front. Before they get to
Oh,
that back door,
you'd have jumped off.
I'm off the bus. And wherever I get off the bus, I take another one that way. That one starts collecting from the front. Before it gets to the back, I'm forward again. You
Wow.
understand what I'm saying? So those were like, you know, quite a bit of challenge. And especially because I also chose to be in a profession that didn't come with any respect or any recognition. You understand what I'm saying? So people frowned, the environment, there was, you know, societal frowning at you as a person. Like, I don't want to see you with that boy. You know, parents want their kids to stay off me. And those were very challenging and depressing times. You have friends you can't visit them at home because you chose to be a DJ, and their parents feel like you're a low life to have been a DJ. That's not what I'm saying. You know, so there were loads of challenges. You know, but you know, for me, I've tried on challenges in life. At every stage, I've seen challenges as hurdle, and I skip that hurdle and move forward, and you become stronger. And the more hurdles you skip, I mean, like you're able to scale through, the better you are at scaling others. You understand what I'm saying? So right
Yeah.
now, I feel like there's nothing coming that I can't handle. It's COVID-19, it's coronavirus. We're here. You
We
know,
did
we'll
yeah,
face it
nothing
and
that happened.
we'll face it and we'll overcome. You understand what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
so for me, I was built on challenges. I built because even the fact that I remained a DJ was based on challenge. You know, that people look down on what you do. And I just felt like, look, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it so well, you're going to come around. So that's the challenge in itself. Do you understand what I'm
Wow.
saying? You know, and it was a lot of battle. You know, I remember when I started, if I'm playing a gig and some people's, and I started out playing gigs more on the island, so you get to a party, they don't want to see you. They just want your music. They feel like all this ghetto boy, are just from Obalende, and the party is in their living room. So they want you as a DJ set outside, place the speakers inside. I had to fight
Wow.
that. There were challenges, yeah. To be honest with you, I think I fought that. Before me, it was mostly DJs set up on the balcony, set up in the corridor, put the speakers in there, and even if it's a show, set up behind the stage, let's just hear the music. We don't want to see you. I came from the background of being an aspiring artist, and I felt like I was a showman. So I need to be where, I need to have that,
Yeah, yeah.
I need to have that
Visibility.
vibe, and I need to be visible, So I fought that I fought a lot of battles with that. I was always ready to even refund money. Like, once you tell me I'm not serving where the party is, and it's always last minute. So most times people can't take their refund because they can't get another DJ at that time. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a lot of battle. I mean, to a point where people now want the DJ on the stage where, everybody will see that I got this DJ or I got that DJ. But it wasn't like that when I got it. It was a lot of battle.
Wow.
There've been several battles, man. Challenges.
We want to hear the battles because someone is listening right now, and
what?
they've been a banker for a long time, 20 years. They've lost their jobs. Where do they start from? Their voices in their heads telling them to do this, do that. So this is really like, an encouragement, practical tools. What did you do? What did you tell those voices that were speaking to you? How did you get up? That's what we want to equip them with. So we want to hear the battles.
You have to always be open-minded and be able to study your environment and say, what are the needs? Whatever the situation presents, no matter how bad the situation is, there's always a good side to it. So you look and say, in this bad situation, what are the opportunities that it has presented? Based on your own environment, because it differs from areas to areas. You understand what I'm saying? So you look at your own environment and say, now that this situation is like this, what can I bring, or what can I get into that people need? It is not, all that I understand, but that people also need. You understand what I'm saying? So you look and say, man, in some areas it could be, maybe don't stick with what you specialize in. Don't say I'm a banker and it has to be in the banking sector. If you look around and it's food that is absolutely necessary, find a way around it and say, man, maybe I might start delivering needs to people. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's how I see it. I'm this whole period I've realized that, look, a lot of businesses that I have are physical businesses. Things that I have money in, they're physical businesses, and people, that physicality is not working right now. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at the digital space and saying, man, what are the business opportunities in this area? And you understand, how can I get involved? If I don't even, right now, there will be no gathering for a long while, which means as a DJ, there won't be any work for a long time. And I'm dealing with that reality. But you also must earn money. So you're looking at that digital space to say, man, what are the things that I can get into in this new market? It's not new, but it's almost new. Because now everybody's ready to deal in that area. And you look and say, what can I get into within this space that can ensure maybe not as much income as I used to get physically, but at least can do something for me that can sustain that, So those are, that's my own way of looking at it. And I feel like every situation, like I said, I've tried on challenges, so I'm not even scared of the situation as it is right now, even though I feel like it affects us more than any other person. I'm talking about entertainers especially, or even let me limit it to DJing, because truth, even when we get over it, it's going to take a while for people to get comfortable with gathering. And if people don't get comfortable with gathering, there will be no shows, there will be no concerts, there will be no parties, eventually when those things even happen, it will be very few. It will take a lot of boldness for you to say, man, I'm having a celebration. How many people want to be part of that? So people like us are, we are highly affected. So, but you don't dwell on, man, my life don't finish. This one will not get work again now. You know, you look at it and say, man, this is another ordeal and we're going to have to scale it. You, I mean, for different, that spirit is the first thing you need. You need that spirit that says, man, there's a way out and I'll find that way out. Positive way out, not negative. Because some people get fraudulent in these times, you know. So, but, you know, you have that mindset of positivity and say, man, there must be a way out. So you start researching, you start looking around you and saying, what can I come with that can at least sustain me within this period? You know, and really, if you look and you search very well, you will find something.
You'll find it. You'll find it. Wow. So this is really a perspective problem. You know, if we can see right, because the same situation can come to two different people and they see it differently. They say,
exactly.
to some people, the glass is half full. To some people, it's half empty. It's how you look at it, you know,
exactly.
based on, you know, yeah, how it relates to you. And I just want to ask, what is the role of destiny in doing? Like, what is the role of destiny? Is it that because your mom gave birth to you and taught you right and you made up your mind that you succeeded, or God already wrote it?
For me, I mean, I'm a very practical and realistic person. And I feel like you have to have a realistic and practical approach to life. Not to say you do not believe in destiny or things being preordained, but practically, because we're all children of God. God has planned and whatever for every individual. But God has also given us the grace of being human being with brains. And that is like just making sure you're equipped enough to figure things out.
Figure it out.
So that you don't. So I'm looking at God. I'm looking at, sorry, it might not sound right, but I'm looking at God as a father. And I'm a father to children, multiple children. So I'm using myself as a mini God. I would appreciate my children after giving them, equipping them with enough to figure things out, giving them the best of education, giving them the best advices, and they've gotten to a particular level in life where they should be able to work with those things that I've equipped them with. You know, they should be able to now go and get things done without always coming back to me and expecting me to take care of things. So I feel like the same format in dealing with God. Be that smart child of God that God has equipped you with all this, and you don't stress him every minute because he's also dealing with 7 billion of your time.
Wow, that's deep. You know, like, it's like I heard this joke one time. This guy went to one place to pray. I think he went to church, and then he needed like 5 million or 10 million. And there was a guy beside him praying, God, give me 120K to pay my rent. The guy just brought out the money. Take this one. I need to talk to God.
Exactly. You understand? Some people, in terms of belief, have abused it, especially in our own environment. And I don't think it's a global thing. It's just very peculiar to us as Nigerians, first of all. We are quick to rush to God. Even for the slightest things that we can sit down and figure out, because we have the grace of God's blessing to even have to be smart enough to have that brain. And people are using that brain in other places and getting things done. But we don't even, we're just fully dependent. I have this problem, they go meet my papa. My papa now God. God, Father, Lord, I call on you, my roof is leaking. You are calling on God for that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Father, Lord, I don't know what is wrong with this, my generator. You call on God. Guy. You know, and that happens a lot around here. I see people, you know, people are in house of worship when they should be job hunting. Because pastors here are even guilty of promising you what they can't deliver, and making you feel like if you're a church worker without salary, you can deal with your problems. instead of them to encourage you, they will let you believe that, look, if you serve God diligently, and serving God to them is coming to this place, sweep this place, help us arrange chairs, do everything you can do within this space, God will reward you. God will reward you, not church. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying, that for me, I'm a very practical and realistic person. God is our Father, but do not be a disabled child. Do not be a child that goes to the Father for even the simplest of things. You have that grace. Figure it out. When it becomes when it becomes beyond you, maybe then. So I'm like, the way I always joke in my house, and I'll give you that joke. I always tell people around me that, look, every time I ask God for something, like it does it for me. You know why? Because from afar, he sees me coming and he's like, do you understand what I'm saying? Because I don't come to bother the Father every time. So the few times I show up, it's like, it must be very important. I
joke.
Some people see, blood of Jesus for some people is the authentic one. Jesus will just take blood and say, give this child. Some people, they already have pre-mixed blood. Like they just have like a liter and put a lot of water, because no matter what you give them, they're always going to come and come and come and come. And that's the blood of Jesus. Sorry that I'm joking too much on this matter.
No, but you know what you're saying though? It's so real, because we cannot suspend our brains. You know what I'm saying? We have to do the work.
You have to be practical about things. You have to be practical. Do not wake up every day thinking, you're open. You have to make effort, and you have the grace. We've been given that grace as human. Because I don't think there's any other creature that has the kind of, mental abilities that we have. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't be, and people, when you talk like this, some people will say you never see Allah for life. There's no way. I've just told you how I came up. Allah day everywhere getting on through, but over reliance on blessings. Over reliance on blessings without the work is destroying and damaging our own environment. And I'm not talking about where you are.
No, but let me tell you one thing. When I changed from Nigerian church, I went to an Oyinbo church. And they said we're fasting for 21 days. I said, 21 days. We started like this 1st of January or 2nd of January. And I saw them eating. I'm like, aren't we fasting? Why are you eating? Oh, no, me, I'm fasting on sugar. Oh, she's fasting on milk. She's fasting. I said, And their prayers are answered. So it made me question, like, wait, we that we will fast and not even drink water and almost die. And we don't see results. You know what I mean? And these people are fasting on sugar, fasting on cake, fasting on Coke. I'm like, now, wow, so you're really right, because there must be a balance. There must be a balance between asking all the time and then presenting your idea for him to bless it. You know what? There has to be a balance.
If you're going to approach somebody for sponsorship, which is like approaching God to support what you want to do, there must be a proposal.
A plan, yeah.
So I'm coming to you to say, Bouquis, I have this great idea, and you say, okay, let me see the proposal, and I say, man, I don't have anything. I'm just thinking of it, and I want you to sponsor, put money down on that project. You probably will just you will not even answer me. But if I come and say that I want you to have a look at this, my proposal, and then you look, it might even blow your mind more than my presentation. Like, wow, this is awesome. That's how you go to God. There must be you must be making efforts.
And then he can even correct it that no, don't write this place like this.
And then God can open your eyes to it and say no, in this direction. God can open your eyes to the right way, the best way.
Or even
But
if
at
you should
least,
throw that proposal away
but at
completely.
least there is something. You did not just come and say, Baba, I don't show how far you go help me. Oh,
How
please
far?
bless me before I go. You must bless me today, or you must bless me. You are a stubborn child. How you do go and be Mama Lord Yari from my belly? God of Milo, God of time after Milo, my shame. Me, the Kuro by you. That's the way we pray here.
Wow.
Like you're holding your father to ransom. If he doesn't do it, man, I will show myself here today. Guy,
Wow. Wow.
and you can't be as powerful as God. So if God wants to look and say, man, well, my God, he gets rid of you. And when I say get rid of, it's not like you kill you, but you get rid of you. Do you understand what I'm
Wow.
saying? You
Wow,
know?
this is so deep, man, because a lot of people, you are so right, because I see a lot of people come to you. It's okay now. Let me just go straight to this generation that we are in. I
Yeah.
mean, when we came up, you called us, oh, Bouquis, I want a mixtape. I'm doing a mixtape. I want you to be on it. I want you to be on that.
Mhm.
We did the work. We didn't just
By the
keep
way,
calling you.
by the way, that jam, if there's anything I'm ever proud that I did was making that record.
Really?
I'm telling you. There's a
Why?
way, there's a feeling I get every time the song plays. You know?
Really?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And, you know, because for me, it was more like, you know, I'm the only guy in my house. I always say that. I have two daughters and my wife, and even though they are not here with me, but I'm the only guy in the structure. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's always important that I do things to show the power of the female. And that was what that song was about.
You know, you
But
almost did me, Joe. You don't remember the conversation when you
I,
called me? You said, Bouquis, I have a
I
gospel
know
track.
now.
I want you to do a full gospel track on the album. I said, oh, that's cool. Even though
I remember very well. I remember
you said
very
you
well. I
have a
remember.
track that's all female, and
I
I know you don't want
I
to jump
remember
in there.
because an average song, ideally, Bouquis, check man. An average song is 3 verses. That song is 4 verses long. But when you play, it doesn't sound that long, lengthy. You know,
But he
but
said, I said, so, me, we're doing it together. And, it brings me to a lot of things I want to talk about this generation.
yeah.
First and foremost, thank you for that track. That track is fire. I've been playing it. Even if Alexa play, you go for my hand. You see?
Oh,
I know
that's
they
the
play
original.
it. It's okay. Alexa, thank you. Pause. So anytime. Alexa, they say anytime. What you be worried is I'm not your friend. Alexa, pause. Thank you. Anyway, so it's only me in my house, so the only friend I have is Alexa with a gist. It brings me to this generation, and they don't want to put in the work. We put in the work. We were traveling. Uncle Jimmy, we were traveling. We were going abroad. We were doing. One time I'll be in. Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to remember you in Ife. When you used to shop to Ife and Lagos in those days with your camo outfit. So
Oh,
literally.
I remember that gig.
Huh?
Me, Plantation Boys, Ayangba Boys. I was the only
Yes.
girl for a long time on all those gigs. That was
Yes.
99, 98,
99.
99. It was only me for a long time underground. We used to do play safe. The government did this play safe.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when I didn't record an album till 2005, Molejo, people were like, where is she coming from? Who is this? I'm like, Kole. But it brings me to what I'm trying to talk about now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to put in the work. And that's because there's social media. And people blow like this off social media. And so
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
think that they don't have to put in the work, but the principles don't change. So I want you to talk to any upcoming artists listening now. I want you to just tell them about putting in the work, the cost of greatness, and the work you have to put in.
See, like for me, I feel like easy come, easy go.
Mm.
Yeah. People ask me how come I'm still around. I've been around since the 80s. And then you can't have a conversation about the entertainment space, especially DJing in Nigeria within the 80s, with the 90s to the 90s, and even
Yeah.
the 2000s. you can't have that conversation and I'm not a key player in it.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been on break. You know, it's serious work. First of all, if you come up as a trend, you're going to fade like that trend because trends will come, boom, boom,
And go.
boom. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're a fad or you just came up because you bamboozle people through some social media paparazzi, it's only going to take a short while before, you know, someone else is going to come with new trend and bamboozle everybody with that. So that's why you see a lot of young people, you know, a lot of supposed young legends. That thing is not a compliment. You're barely out of, you know, I see a lot of people in their 20s and are being regarded as legends. Ah, those guys, that guy in those days, man, killing it. Your career is over.
Wow.
And you still have at least, if God gives you the grace, you have another 70 years to live and your career is over already. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
No matter, and it's not about money now. You can move on to doing other things bigger than, but that's the drug about entertainment. If you've tasted that, whatever, it's tough for you to let it go. So when it goes, even if you have the money, when it goes, a lot of things will set in.
Depression.
Depression in a lot of ways will set in. Like me, that before, once I show in this place, cameras flashing everywhere, boom, 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 and now you're just walking in, they're even locking the door before you get there. So some people can't deal with that. And that's why you look at a lot of child stars. If you take it back and say 20 years, 10 years ago, child stars that are not exactly up there anymore. What's their situation? They've gone into drug abuse. Some have committed. Some have taken their own life. Some have, you know, you just look there because, you know, it's a tough adjustment.
From the spotlight to the dark.
Exactly, and that's because you came up as a fad, like a trend, boom, and then you went. Boom.
You were not cooked. You were not
if
cooked.
It was see my own anthem. My own anthem is Street Credibility by Nice.
That's me too. Me too. Yes.
By Nice. You know how you built it. Me, for instance, as a DJ, there was no social media when I came up, and I was the most talked about. Probably one of the most talked about entertainers, not even a DJ. Because I play gigs from I've been to every state of this country. And I'm not saying every state, I've been to every key cities in this country playing gigs. I've been to pretty much all the socially upright and awoken institutions in this country. You understand what I'm saying? There was no social media when I was coming up, so it wasn't built on hype.
OG before IG.
It was built on delivery. It was built on delivery. So that's not going to go away like boom, except I let it happen. Because as human beings, sometimes we also can be mean and wicked to ourselves. So you have something and you start dwelling on it. Oh, it's me now. They know me. I'm that. The moment you start feeling like you're up there, you're the man. Trust me. Growth is now. You stop growing. And if you stop growing, people are going to grow and grow beyond you.
Yeah.
You know, so but if you always have the hunger of, man, I could still do better. I can still achieve more. I can still, you must always have. So I walk as I am, I walk like a rookie. You know, I don't go, first of all, that's not even who I am. Me, I hate to say it about myself, but I think I'm very down to earth, very humble.
You are.
And I hope it doesn't sound like I'm bragging about myself, but that's who I am by nature.
No.
So I'm not also that kind of guy that lets fame and fortune or popularity gets into my system. So when people talk Jimmy Jatt, it doesn't eat me like that. I'm like, guy, you know, if I get into a place, I just want to quietly get in there, quietly. You know, I'm not the type that, and I think that helps because it makes you feel like, man, maybe I can still do more. Maybe I can still be, you know, rather than boom, you know.
Wow. And I know that you're really blessed because I've seen so many negative things happen to you, and your perspective towards them, the way you, because we can only control what we can control, right? We can't
Mhm.
control what we can control. We can only control how we react to situations. I remember that when we were shooting the
Oh,
when we were shooting
okay.
the too much video, when it was your
Bouquis.
turn.
Yes. Oh, I can't believe you remember these things though.
When it was your turn to record, the camera guy for some reason said, I want to take the shot from up like that for
Yes.
you. And we
Yes.
were like, okay. And then they put the camera, and you just looked up and you were rapping, and you stepped back.
The crane collapsed down.
You stepped
Just
back
1 second.
just 1 inch, and the crane collapsed and the camera smashed, which could have been on your head.
Let me tell you what now happened a week after that. A week after that again, we were shooting a video for Mode 9. It's a song called Hip Hop. It was meant to be at the rooftop of like a 15-story building inside Lagos. So we had gone upstairs and we were done. It was the same camera, it was the same director, it was the same ego that was shooting the video. So it was the same thing that witnessed what you just talked about. They now came. I just got into the elevator and realized that I left something behind. And I came out of the elevator, the door closed, and the elevator crashed down from the 15th floor. Which means if I had not forgotten that thing and stepped out, and it wasn't even like I forgot the thing. I had one boy that wanted, you know how people respect you and say, "Ah, I'll make I carry this thing for you." So the boy was carrying my headphones and some other things, but I didn't see him immediately. I entered the elevator and I felt like I didn't want to get downstairs and start waiting for him. So let me step out of the elevator, get this boy to say, let's go down together. And I came out of that elevator, the door closed. It crashed down like in the movies, like crashed down. Boom, bam. There's no way anybody would survive it. If anybody was in that elevator, dead. The same
Wow.
camera people. The same camera
Did you
people.
fire
The
them?
same, eh?
Did you fire the camera?
That had nothing to do with them. One of them was now even calling me. You know, that's when people start selling rubbish to you. And if you are gullible enough, you buy it. They say, last one, camera, elevator. Only prophet, Amy, I don't want to go. I'm not going. I will pray within my house and I've overcome this thing already. I won't go to, if you had been gullible enough to let anybody take you to, whether it's a Babalawo self, that person owns you from that day because he will now tell you it was something that they did that prevented all these things that was, and it's a psychological thing, but
And you
because
keep
I
coming
also,
back to him.
I don't believe, that's not me in any way. I believe that I always brag and say, man, I have 6 guardian angels by God. 6.
Is there
And
a girl? Is
it's
there a
one
girl among
assigned,
them?
one for everybody. Me, I have 6. But
Wow.
you can't stop me. You can't stop me from the back. There will be enough. There will be some forces that will prevent it. My own belief, and that belief has always
It
worked for me.
works for you.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Wow, man. Because that was supposed to be my follow-up question, that did you ever for once think that this was something, but you already answered it. So
No. I didn't. It was an accident. That's why I'm saying God has given us the grace of having the right brain to figure things out. So you're not going to tell me otherwise. I might be wrong, I might be right, but that's what I believe.
I believe.
But accidents do happen, and and it looked good enough. It was just close shave or whatever. It didn't even, you understand? I survived it. 2 of them.
Wow.
You understand? So
Wow.
the only thing you can do thereafter is thank God and appreciate God for your life. Maybe God just wants to call you back and say, guy, don't forget I'm in charge of your life. You understand what I'm saying? And you should just take it as that. That's the message you should take out of it. Don't think you are just going up and down. You are flying, and someone like me, I've spent so much of my life in the air. You understand? Some people will tell you, I don't fly, I don't want plane accident. And then the plane crashed on their building in their
You
house and
did.
they Do you understand what I'm saying? They still died by plane crash, and they never flew. So
Wow.
sometimes you need to always look at these things and understand what the message is. So for me, that was a reality check to say, man, guy, you don't own your life, oh. And if it's gonna go, it's gonna go in a split second. So there's a bigger force behind everything you do. There's a bigger power, and sometimes that power just wants to remind you, guy.
I got you.
Don't lose it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Man,
That
this
for
is
me
so.
is the kind of miracle that if people are saying miracles don't happen, those are miracles to me. Not miracle of I not work, but I make money. Guy, there's no somebody that is, we know that this guy is not, he doesn't, and then he's a wealthy, and then there are a lot of them there, and they say it's God's blessing. Guy, explain this blessing how it comes.
How?
They just keep the money somewhere, you go carry on.
Wow.
I am DJ Jimmy Jatt, and I am at Bouquie's place. Thanks for having me.